Hello. Well, I don't know if this thing's working or not, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm having a little trouble with this iPad trying to figure out how to use it. But anyway, I wanted to do some talking about some stuff that happened in my life. One of the things was that when I used to deer hunt a lot. I don't anymore, but I took my young son. He was, gosh, I don't remember how old he was. He wasn't very old, but I had took him out on my dad's farm, and we had shot the 30-30, out on there, and he knew how to use it. Anyway, I drove up to Palapino County. I can't remember the name of the little town there. There was a town up there. I used to hunt up there every year, but I took my little son up there, and I rented a leased hunting ground from one of the farmers up there, prayer, whatever you call those guys. I don't know what you call them, whether you call them farmers or ranchers or whatever. Anyway, I leased a deer lease, and got in there, and I put my son up in a tree, and I was walking over, and I was going to get up in another tree, and boy, I heard bang, and oh my goodness. I said, he done shot a deer. And sure enough, I run back over there, and he'd got him one. And that was the end of my day. I said, well, that's good enough. That's what I come down here for. And we loaded deer up and dressed him out myself and put him up. And back then, gosh, they used to have fenders on cars. And when you'd kill a deer, you'd take the deer and hang him, put him on that fender on the front of your car, and that was sort of you let everybody know, yeah, I got my deer during deer season, and drove on back to Dallas, and I don't know exactly how. I don't know whether the Dallas Morning News called me or how the devil he got, but anyway, they come out and interviewed me about my son killing that deer, and it got in the paper. And boy, I want you to know, I got some dirty phone calls. Man, some people that are against deer hunting to begin with, and then there was people against a little child shooting a 30-30. At any rate, I never tried that again. But I had the deer mounted, and I think my son still got it, as far as I know. And he got it when gosh, I don't think he was about 11, 12, 13 years old. I can't remember. But at any rate, that was something. Oh, Lordy. There was some other stuff that happened to me. I'm making these things, by the way. I'm making these things because I sit here, and I'm 2 months, I'll be 84 years old. And first time in my life in the last 3 or 4 months that I've had a chance to sit down and watch TV and Netflix and all that stuff, and I just sick and tired of watching these movies and stuff. Everything that you see is written by a PhD or somebody that's got 10 PhDs recommending this PhD book. And then these movies that they put in there, they talk about families, and it ain't nothing like the families that I grew up around and all the people that I know. I mean, these people, boy, it's unreal. I mean, these people all must be, what, was I the only poor person in the whole country? I mean, my God, everybody's got, man alive, they got fine automobiles, they got buying homes. They go to fine schools. Everybody's dressed in fine clothes. And oh God, I said, holy moly! I didn't know I was so poor. I thought I was in pretty good shape most of my life. But anyway, I thought just no country boy ought to put a little bit out here. Let people know that there were other people in this country besides all these rich folks. Lord of mercy, I worked all my life, I didn't have time to go to all these colleges. I did go to SMU for 2 years, but I didn't last. I couldn't pass English, and I thought I was talking pretty good, but they didn't think so. You know, so that was the end of that. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about it. I just happened to think of something that I thought was kind of entertaining. When my folks owned a grocery store, and I don't mean this detrimental, but everybody got their own choice of what they like to eat. But when my soul brothers moved in and everything, well, my dad had to change some of the stuff that he sold in the meat counter. And anyway, there was a lady that lived out Zane Road out there around. I can't remember where it was. You know, she come in and she stopped by there every afternoon at the store going out to where she lived. And I think it was out there, I don't know, Pleasant Grove or Con Heights or somewhere out there, out Zane Road anyway, because the grocery store was on Zane Road. But anyway, she stopped in and she was real nice, real nice, drove a real nice car, you know. And man alive, I mean, she was dressed fit to kill, man. I mean, you could tell that she wasn't one of our kind. Boy, she was, she was one of those highfalutin. I don't know what she was doing out in our part of town. She looked like she come from Highland Park or University Park. But anyway, she come in and went back to the meat counter, and my dad had just ordered some hog maws and chitlins, and she got us. I think she got some chitlins and maybe a little bit of hog maws, and I was at the cash register. My dad was back at the meat counter. He wrapped them up for her. She brought them up there, and I added up in the cash register and took her money, and she left. Everything going on. About an hour and a half later, she drove back up again, and she walked in and she took them meat back to the counter back there, and told my dad, says, these things are sour, rotten, smell bad. And my old man said, lady, don't you know what you're buying? And she said, yeah. I said, I see it down there. I said, I don't know the name of it, but so I thought I'd try it. And my dad wasn't no businessman. He said, well, lady, I said, I ain't going to give you your money back if you don't know what you buy. You don't know what you're doing when you're buying. Well, ain't nothing I can do about that. I ain't going to give you your money back. And she stomped out of the store, and that's the last we ever saw her. But I thought it was kind of funny. You know, different folks have different tastes, I guess. You know. Anyway, there was one thing that I used to like. I ain't had in years and years and years, and that's pickled pig feet. Pickles pig feet. God, I used to love them things. They had in a big old. It's about I guess it's about a 2 or 3 gallon glass jar sitting up on top of the meat counter thing back there. And also they had dill pickles. And boy, used to get me a dill pickle and a I can't even say it. A pickles pig foot, you know. If you got 2 of them, they're feet. I'd get one and I'd eat them things. I don't know if anybody ever liked them besides me, but we sold a lot of them, boy, I tell you. You know, they used to get me an old dill pickle and suck on that thing and eat that pickles pig foot, you know. I thought it was pretty good, you know, it really was. What could I say? Oh, Lordy. Also, while I was sitting there thinking, there was a guy that lived right next to that store. If you're going out Zane Road, going towards Mesquite, he was the first house beside the store. And he used to come over, his name was Mr. Wheeler, and he used to come over and talk to my dad. They would talk a lot. And I was in there one day, and they got into a big argument. And my dad was against, you know, Roosevelt got that CCC, I think it was a Civilian Conservation Corps, and WPA, World Works Progress Administration. And my dad was against all that. He thought that wasn't the thing to do. You know, I thought it was at the time. Since as I got older, I don't know. I'll leave that up to you people. I think it was. I think it could have been handled a lot better than what it was. But anyway, the thing that really got my old man mad, because now he's a dairy farmer. He's not only a dairyman, but he's a farmer. And you have to realize that my dad worked hard. He was a hard working guy. Not only worked on the farm, worked in the store. When he found out that the government was taking farmers and they'd told them that had them to tell them how much wheat did you sell last year, and then they would figure that up and price of wheat this year, and they would pay them for what they harvested last year and tell them not to plant anything. And oh my God, my dad like to went through the ceiling when he found out about that. And him and Mr. Wheeler was in favor of it. My dad was against it, and they got in a big argument. And my old man run him out of the store. He told him, "Get out of my store and don't ever come back." And I thought all my life, I thought about, there was Mr. Wheeler. He could just, if he wanted a loaf of bread, he could just get out and walk next door and get him one. Now he had to get in his car because there wasn't another store within 1.5 miles, 2 miles of our house, of our store. I thought my dad was something else. Well, I'm going to let this one go. I'll think of something else later.